Hello students, those who are watching this video, I am Mrs. Madhumita Chakraborty from Holy Hearts Educational Academy, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. I hope students, you all are staying at home and safe at home and listening to your elders. Today my video is for the class 10 students, and being a social science teacher, today I have taken the summary of your history, chapter number 4, that is the age of industrialization. Now, to make you all understand in short, that is the summary, few concepts are there which I tried to put it down into 4 points, and that is you all can see. We are going to do about what is proto-industrialization, then about the industrialization in England, and then industrialization in the colonies. Especially we are going to take the case of India, and then marketing of the goods by the British. Here you can see it. That in this 4 headings we are going to do, right? So when I talk about proto-industrialization, what does it mean? Proto-industrialization is a phase before your industrialization. Fine. And what is industrialization? It is the industrial revolution which we know had happened in Europe. So industrial revolution means what? It is a change in the production method, that is from the man-made to your machine-made. And even we can say the transformation from the cottage industries to the large-scale industries. So these 2 things I hope you all will remember, that what is proto-industrialization and what is the meaning of industrial revolution or industrialization. Now here you can see for proto-industrialization, I have written it down, what I just explained you about proto-industrialization. Fine. Now, during this proto-industrialization, there was very large production for the international market. Now you all will say that, ma'am, there were no machines, you are saying no factories. So how this large production was done for the international market? Yes, it was done because of the domestic unit. Remember this, in the proto-industrial period, the large production was through the domestic unit. Now, the large production, how they got it in the international market? Through the associations of producers and merchants. And these association of producers and merchants are known as trade guilds. And they were very powerful, and they restricted the entry of the new merchants in cities and towns. And that is why in the 17th century and the 18th century, the new merchants, they went to the countryside, that is to the villages. And in villages, they were welcomed by the peasants and as well as by the artisans. Because the peasants, they had already small plots, and in that they were doing the cultivation. So they thought that it is a very good opportunity to supplement or increase their income. And so the family members, those who were at home idle, so they also now could earn for their livelihood. And so there were the 2 reasons that why the merchants were welcomed in the villages, because they wanted to supplement their income, because they had small plots, and the second one was the family members or the family workers were now getting an opportunity to earn for the family. And it also created a development relation between the villages and the towns and cities. Here you can see I have put it down into some points. Fine. Now, after this proto-industrialization, we are going to do about the beginning of the industries in England. So before I start this, when I told you about the large production, remember this large production was done in different areas. Like your yarning was done in different place, your carding was done in different place, then the dyeing of the materials was done in different place, then the finishing was done in your London, and that is why London is known as the finishing center. But when we are talking about this beginning of the industrialization in England, here we will see that in the earliest the factories came up by 1730s. And by the late 18th century, there were multiplied many factories. That is, the factories increased. And in the 18th century, there were a series of invention. And one of the most important invention was the invention of cotton mill. And that was created by whom? Richard Arkwright. So remember, who created the cotton mill? Richard Arkwright. And here we will see that the sectors which underwent this industrialization were 2. One was the cotton and another one was the iron and steel. And cotton was the first sector, and it happen to be remaining in the first phase of industrialization, that is till 1840s. And iron and steel had a great demand because there was expansion of railways. Now you can see it here. Clear? Now, after this comes in industrialization, the machines, the invention of the machines we have seen. So when the machines were there, but still many people could not accept these machines, and there were some benefits also. So first I am going to tell you that why the machines were not accepted by the people. They were not accepted by the people because it was very expensive, that is, it was very costly. Then many unskilled laborers were there because to run the machines, many skilled laborers were required, and that time there were not much laborers, those who were skilled to operate these machines. And whatever information was given by the manufacturers and the inventors, it did not come up to the mark. And then once the machine used to break down, then the repairs were very costly, and people were not ready, easily were not ready to give up their traditional industries. And always there was a fear of unemployment because of this machine. So when you are going to read the chapter, your NCERT book, the Age of Industrialization chapter, there you will find that why the women attacked spinning jenny, and it was because the fear of unemployment, and that is why they attacked the spinning jenny. Now, apart from this, when industrialization took place, the machines had come, there were many benefits also. And the benefit was that everything, all the process of production came under one roof. Earlier I told you it was in different areas. So now because of this invention of machines, the production process came under one roof, and the benefit was that it could be supervised well because everybody was together. Then about the laborers, then regulation of the laborers was there. Then the watch of the quality can also be done very nicely because everything was in a limited space and there was no problem from going here to there. So now here you can see the points. This side you can see the benefits, and this side you can see the why the machines were not accepted. Right? Now, because the machines were not accepted, we have seen the reasons behind it. One more reason was that the handmade goods were preferred by the elite or the aristocracies of England and Europe. And what was the reason behind it? The reason was that the handmade the goods were very unique in their style. Then they were done with ultimate care by the individual weavers, and it did not have any copied designs and all. Then it symbolizes refinement and class. Then whatever the finishing was done of these materials were far better than the machine made goods. So that is why it was preferred more than the machine made goods. Then comes about the life of the workers. So what kind of life did the workers had during the industrialization? During this phase of industrialization, everywhere there was the setting up of the industries and coming up of the factories. So the people in the villages thought to get more job opportunities in towns and cities, they flocked to towns and cities. And when they came here for the job opportunities, they had to wait for a week or more than the weekdays, also more than the weeks. And so they had to find the shelters by themselves. So they used to take shelters either under the bridges. Many had this casual wards. There they used to take shelter. Many also had shelter in the night refugees and all. But many of them got the job if they had any friends or any relatives in the cities and towns doing the work in the industries. They got the jobs easily. But for the others, it was very tough time, hard time. And if the laborers were there for seasonal work, then after the season gets over, they again become jobless and then they again go back to the countryside. So I think this is very clear to you all. Fine. So I think the first part of the summary of this chapter of Age of Industrialization is very clear to you all. Thank you, students. One more thing before I go off, I want to tell to you all that I hope you all are staying at home, safe and listening to elders, what they are telling you to do. because we are under a very crisis period. You all know about COVID-19. So take care. Have a safe life. Thank you.